Boom, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. But let's start with Bitcoin. Yesterday, we went over Bitcoin and what we were watching, and I'll give you the full screen of this here. We'll get rid of those, a little bit of that noise. And just as a matter of fact, guys, just so you know, I think I'm gonna make this very clear. I often use very little data when I'm looking at a chart. I just use, because the more data you have, often the harder it is to make a decision. There's too many things going on. Right now, I've got two very key things I'm looking at. The POC line, which is the point of control on my volume profile, and this ascending channel through what appears to be an accumulation phase. Now, currently, Bitcoin has actually not been able to keep above the channel and the box itself necessarily. We've stayed right at the top and touched the top of the box again where the POC is. This is what was trying to drag us down, and at the current moment most of the buy pressure is down here at $11,600. Here is most of the sell pressure. So we've been dragged down into the middle of the box. The next big question is closing above the box and then above the channel again on the daily and the 4-hour is going to equal huge moves. And as we had looked at in Bitcoin's price yesterday, and we've gone over a few times, if we actually give you the whole day chart, the volume profile, guys, also again for you that don't know, is only on the pro trading view version, so you do not get it anywhere else. So you have to have pro to be able to see this. But right now what we're going to do is we bring the whole Bitcoin chart into view. We can see, actually this is not enough data. We're going to have to use one of these other charts here. Yeah, okay, there we go. Now from Bitstamp, which has been around for longer, see how the volume profile on the right hand side here goes and kind of like has a wave out, and there's like the general breadth of the wave is like between 13,500, 14,500. If we stay above this channel, we're going to move up into this area very quickly, and this in my mind is going to signal to a lot of the big players that we are, yes, in fact, entering a new bull market, because we'll really have left this area. I hate to say it, but this still could be a very big giant fake out. A massive fake out, because we haven't left this area. We haven't gone above 13,000. So getting above 13,500 and breaking into this volume profile support area here, that's going to be a massive green light for the rest of these big funds who have billions of dollars in assets under management to really start turning on the buying and acquisition process. Because if this is the start of a new bull market, it's very early on and it's easy to see coming, which is what market man loves. So I do suspect we close above this box. We go to 13,500, 14,500 maybe on a wick if you happen to like watching candles. I don't. But like at the moment, most of the buy power here is down at 10,300. Now we've talked about this lower area between 3,000 and 2,000 before, and how that there's a big gap in this area that was never ever filled. And we've gone over this before, but I just would like to express this again as well. There's a good enough hypothesis to say that some of this has actually been Bitcoin that's lost in transit. So let's say someone who wiped out a hard drive that had 10 or 50,000 Bitcoin on it. I think part of this gap that we saw down here in the $1,500 to $3,000 range is actually lost in the dumpster. So normally the volume profile likes to fill this gap. And this is what I was a little concerned about, is that there is a big gap down here around 4,300. And there are reasons to believe that we could actually chart this as a Wyckoff new accumulation model here, something like this. And you guys, again, that are in the private bear den, you'll know what I'm talking about here. But it looks like we could actually be forming another potential accumulation, which would signal a potential LPS spike down this area for a final retest before breakout. So again, with this $13,000 area in mind here, if we go up high, we're going to come down to 10,500. If we don't, if we start to break below this and this becomes a different scenario, we could come lower. We could come down to $4,000 or $5,000 and totally wipe out the idea of entering the bull market today, and we'll see it maybe 6 to 9 months later. Either way, we're very, very close. So let's leave it at that, because I think the most important part again is actually much more closer on this 45-minute chart, where again what we want to do is be closing above this box range here, and more specifically above this channel. Once we see that, I do believe we're going to run to that $13,500 area, and that is extremely important.